Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permit Authority issues warning on power line safety violations. Federal government to hold petrol price summit amid growing concern on price regulation. On the front in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv hit by barrage of drone strikes as Russia's Vladimir Putin ignores U.S. President's truce bid. And in sports, National Sports Commission lines up 110 athletes for African Junior Championships in Abeokuta. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permit Authority, LASPA, has issued a strong warning to property owners, developers and residents, urging them to desist from constructing buildings or any other structures under high-tension power lines, describing such acts as illegal and dangerous. Speaking on the persistent encroachment on power lines right-of-way, the General Manager of LASPA, Kehinde Oshinaike, decried the rising disregard for safety guidelines and fiscal planning laws. Oshinaike noted that despite ongoing enforcement, actions by relevant authorities, some individuals still ignore the grave dangers associated with building too close to or directly beneath power lines. He explained that such illegal developments can also hinder the operations of power companies. Oshinaike stressed that the minimum safe distance between any structure and overhead power lines must be determined by the voltage level, advising residents to always maintain at least 10 feet clearance for lines carrying up to 50 kilovolts and appealing to all Lagosians to comply with building regulations and avoid risky shortcuts that put lives and properties in jeopardy. He reaffirmed LASPA's commitment to sustaining the clampdown on illegal constructions, stressing that the authority will not hesitate to remove any structure found to be encroaching on the power line's right-of-way. The Lagos State House of Assembly is set to establish a modern correctional service center to make provision for the administration of custodial and non-custodial measures in Lagos and for other connected purposes. The bill, titled Lagos State Correctional Service Bill 2025, aims to provide a more effective and humane approach to correctional services, prioritizing rehabilitation and reintegration of offenders in the society. The proposed bill will focus on providing training and rehabilitation programs for inmates with the goal of reducing regression and promoting safer communities. Giving an insight on the bill, Chairman, Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Public Petitions and LASIEC, Oladipo Ajomale, emphasized that it aligns with international best practices in correctional services and aims to reform and rehabilitate offenders rather than merely punishing them. Ajomale highlighted various sections of the bill which ensures health and safety standards within which the facilities are met, adequate provision for juvenile offenders, and the use of modern surveillance, such as CCTV installations. Given his submission, Majority Leader Noheem Adams said if passed into law, it will cater for the mental and physical welfare of inmates in prisons and as well ensure proper hygiene and adequate accommodations of prisoners. The bill was committed to the House Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and LASIEC to report back in 3 weeks. In a bid to ensure safer pedestrian bridges across Lagos, another team from the Lateef Jakande Leadership Academy fellow has begun installation of solar-powered lights on Alausa Secretariat Footbridge connecting Magodo CBD. The initiative was tagged Brighter Bridges, Safer Lagos Capstone Project. Speaking at a press briefing in Alausa, Ikeja, the team led by Damilola Shin Abba said the project was born out of the many challenges pedestrians go through while using bridges across the metropolis, ranging from robbery, darkness, insecurity, and harassment by urchins. While noting that the team solicited funds from public and private organizations, Shin Abba appealed for more funding to enable his team extend the Brighter Bridges, Safer Lagos initiative to Yanoworo, Mile 12 and Yaba pedestrian bridges in the first phase of the project, with a call on residents to own and protect the facility from vandals.
The Brighter Bridges Safer Lagos project is a declaration of what is possible when young leaders are trusted and equipped to deliver impact. From one bridge to 10 and beyond, our dream is a Lagos where no one fears walking home at night. and where infrastructure is both functional and dignified. This is just the beginning.
The team lead appreciated Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for the LJLA initiative, which will not only train leaders but make them solution providers to societal challenges with a view to make life more meaningful to residents. In a remark, the special advisor to the Governor on Media and Publicity, Gboyega Akosile, commended the Brighter Bridges Safer Lagos Capstone Project team for the human-oriented project, which will enhance security and confidence of pedestrians, as well as prevent loss of lives from crossing expressways. The federal government has decried the spread of desertification in large swaths in the north, warning that the crisis poses severe risks to food security, livelihoods, and the environment. Minister of Environment Balarabe Lawal said between 50 and 75% of the land mass in Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states is impacted by desert-like conditions. It described the situation as the most pressing environmental challenge confronting Nigeria's dryland regions. Lawal spoke in Abuja at a workshop supported by World Bank through the Agro-Climatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape Project to review the national policy on drought and desertification. Lawal, who was represented by Permanent Secretary Mahmood Kambari, noted that the affected states cover about 38% of Nigeria's land area and host nearly 27 million people. And now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has fixed July 23 and 24 for a national stakeholder forum to address mounting concerns over petrol pricing and supply dynamics in the downstream sector amid growing agitation by independent marketers for price regulation. The planned summit, organized by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, is expected to bring together industry operators, marketers, refiners, and government officials to deliberate on petroleum pricing standards, feedstock adequacy, and strategies to stabilize the deregulated market. Executive Director of Hydrocarbon Processing Plant, Installation and Transportation Infrastructure at the NMDPRA, Francis Ogari, confirmed the date and summit at the just concluded 24th Nigeria Oil and Gas Energy Week held in Abuja. Ogari stressed the need for dialogue to build a resilient pricing system in the post-subsidy era. It will be recalled that there has been agitation and concerns expressed by petroleum marketers over sudden changes in the price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, without prior notice by the Dangote refinery. Similarly, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria last month questioned the petroleum pricing regime, stressing that petroleum marketers are exploiting Nigerians through inflated petrol prices, and insisted that the current pump price of PMS should range between 700 and 750 naira per litre. Responding to these concerns, Ogari said the NMDPRA was aware of the operational uncertainties confronting players in the sector and has taken concrete steps to standardize pricing while encouraging more investment in local refining. The Senate is set to kick off public hearings on the review of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The hearings will start in Lagos for the Southwest Zone and in 4 other states. The public hearings are aimed at subjecting proposals for the creation of 18 additional local governments, the establishment of state police, and far-reaching reforms of the electoral system, among others, to public discourse. The Senate also said it had scheduled to simultaneously hold similar public hearings in order to do political zones across the Federation except the Northwest. The postponement of the Northwest public hearing was due to the demise of Kano's prominent businessman and philanthropist Aminu Dantata, which occurred last Saturday. In what has evidently been commended as a bold stride towards improving access to clean water supply across the Sokoto State metropolis, Governor Ahmed Aliyu has inaugurated the newly completed Tamaje Water Scheme, valued at over 14.1 billion naira. Speaking at the inauguration in Tamaje, the governor described the project as a critical milestone in addressing the growing demands for potable water in the state capital and its environs, especially in light of the city's rapid urban expansion. While emphasizing the administration's commitment to sustainable water access as a pillar of public health and economic progress, Aliyu said the Tamaje Water Scheme is designed to deliver 3 million gallons of water daily and is also part of a broader network of 6 schemes that will jointly supply 40 million gallons per day once completed. And in some foreign news, a pall of acrid smoke hangs over Kyiv following a night of intensive Russian strikes that hit almost every district of Ukraine's capital. According to Ukrainian authorities, the hours of darkness were once again punctuated by air defense guns, buzz of drones and large explosions. Ukraine said Russia had fired a record 550 drones and 11 missiles during the long night of bombardment. The strikes came hours after a phone call between United States President Donald Trump and Russia's Vladimir Putin, after which the U.S. president said he was disappointed that Putin was not ready to end Russia's war against Ukraine. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha condemned one of the worst nights in the capital and said Moscow must be slapped with the toughest sanctions without delay. And then in sports news, Nigeria will field the largest delegation as 43 countries prepare to compete at the third African Under-18 and Under-20 Athletics Championships in Abeokuta from July 16 to 20. Organizers have confirmed the participation of 937 athletes and officials for the 5-day event, which will see some of the continent's brightest young talents compete at the refurbished MKO Abiola Sports Arena. According to the National Sports Commission, host nation Nigeria will present 110 athletes comprising 60 men and 50 women, supported by 22 officials. The NSC also stated that preparations are ongoing in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, with final touches being made to logistics, accommodation, transportation and other key areas. The event, sanctioned by the Confederation of African Athletes, is expected to feature strong representation from countries including Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Senegal, Cameroon and Uganda. And that was our news at 10. Just before we go, your vehicle is not a strong room. Please keep your valuables off the view of miscreants. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X, Traffic Radio 961. Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs. It's live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Listen to Lagos Traffic Radio live on my Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 450,000 pupils with e-learning devices? Well, you can get more details on the Legacy Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permit Authority, LASPA, has issued a strong warning to property owners, developers and residents, urging them to desist from constructing buildings or any other structures under high-tension power lines, describing such act as illegal and dangerous. The federal government has fixed July 23 and 24 for a national stakeholder forum to address mounting concerns over petrol pricing and supply dynamics in the downstream sector amid growing agitation by independent marketers for price regulation. And we also told you that a pall of acrid smoke hangs over Kyiv following a night of intensive Russian strikes that hit almost every district of Ukraine's capital. And then in sports, Nigeria will field the largest delegation as 43 countries prepare to compete at the third African Under-18 and Under-20 Athletics Championships in Abeokuta from July 16 to 20. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Good morning